hand, there was a spark of hope. The world needs what that plan delivers. And alongside our fear, we hold space for that hope and that excitement.
Also, in general circumstances, to have this kind of confidence in God that Thurman mentions. But I find that sometimes I can kind of envelop myself in prayer, and prayer and its buoyancy and joyousness of spirit, as Thurman writes, can kind of bring along with it. And without even realizing it, you kind of express this relaxed confidence that can give you.
We wait for something, extend an invitation, celebrate a birth or a birthday. We experience a beginning and participate in that genesis of our
But I recognize that this is a time that has hit each of us differently. And I felt this very clearly in talking with my friends and my community. We're all in the same boat, but we're not all in the same storm. And for some of us in this boat, we're in a light rain, we're in a sprinkling, and this is a time of a break. It's a breather, it's a rest, it's a time to reconnect with family. But for others, we're in what feels like a thunderstorm. The changing plans, the disruption, it's scary. And then for others of us, this is a hurricane. The windows are broken, the roof is pulled off. We feel washed out to sea, into the dark, the deep, the unknown. And sometimes that comes from very deep places of loss, of life, of friends, family members, of health, of well-being. So we're all in the same boat, but we're not all in the same storm.
Mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Oh, surely mercy shall follow me, shall follow me.
Loving God, let us arrive in this sacred space together, setting aside for these moments the noise inside our minds. Let our hearts open to you. Let us set our burdens before you. May we feel your presence in this time of grace.
There will be a beginning of Ramadan. Orthodox Christians will get to Easter Sunday morning. We will get through the virus. And all of us do this through the experience of Holy Saturday, holy waiting.
The Quran discloses to us the supplication of the companions of the cave. We are told, once they took refuge in the cave, they prayed, "Our Lord, show us mercy through your presence and set our affairs right." This is a good prayer to remember in times of solitude and in the condition of loneliness. Our Lord, show us mercy through your presence and set our affairs right.
One that we could measure, a short calendar that we could measure in tally marks on a sheet of paper. Today is the 44th day since we shifted to remote. So besides being the 29th of April, the 5th of Iyar, the 6th of Ramadan, it is also the 44th of separation. In mid-March,
foundation, notice flowers sprout from the soil with joy, ease, and openness. Notice the colors and smell the fragrances. Fill your sacrum with this fresh vitality, joy, and ease.
It's this thing that is the connection to growth. Growth is sometimes serendipitous and not what we expect it to be. So that's my story. It's the end of it. I appreciate the opportunity to tell you, and I will leave you to draw your own conclusions.
Them.
At this time,
For me, Harvard Seminary is a magical place because it promotes and encourages interfaith dialogue and fellowship. It opens minds and hearts so we can go out into the world and promote peace.
A purposeful life we were given. Can I just get a glance? Show me the holes where the nails were driven. I'm struggling really bad, oh God, wavering in my faith, tossed to and fro. I'm just being vulnerable and honest because you already know. So I'm asking you to show me your hands. Show me that you are working on behalf of, that you are going to do because of, that you will work swiftly in lieu of, and that you will prevail in spite of. We need you, oh God. We are tired. We are angry. We are overcome with grief. Our hearts are too heavy. Our tears are unceasing. We, like Thomas, despite all that we may have seen you do before, need you to show us your hands today, right now.
He sees his situation, and the text says he has empathy on it. Empathy. I use the word empathy, and it is that feeling and attitude of care for another. It is that intellectual identification that one has for something. And in that moment, that empathy, the text says, and as Mike read it there, it says he had pity on him. Another translation would say he had compassion on him.
Show us how to work for justice together, standing up for what is right, stepping in when something's wrong, shouldering each other's burdens, holding each other accountable, righting the wrongs we've done, speaking truth